So we continue with our PHP and MySQL CRUD web application. So far we have been creating the read part and the create part. So we has been able to read data from the database and create new data into the database from PHP. Now we will focus on how we can update existing data and save that updated data into the database. So now we are working with the U part in the CRUD, CRUD in our CRUD web application. So far we have created this books web page where we get a list of all the books that we have created, and then you can click on new book, and then a new web page pops up where you can enter information regarding a new book and click save, and that new book will be added to the list of existing books. And these books are now stored in the database, and then we just retrieve the books from the database. So now the new thing, we want to update one or more of these existing books that are stored in the database. So we want to add a button here on this books web page, and when we click on this update book, we should go to a new web page where we can update either the title, the author, and the topic, and click save, and then we should go back to this list, and the updated information should be stored or shown here in this list. Now let's go back to our Visual Studio Code editor and add this button to this books.php file. So here we have the header of the different, open the web page. It looks like this. We have the header here, book ID, title, author, and topic, and then I just want to add a new section or header here called action or something, and in that section I want to have these update the book buttons. Then I just copy this one, paste a new one, and instead of topic I just call it action, and then here the contents of the table is created, and in the bottom here I typically want to create this button, so then I just type an echo here also. Could also use the print, but echo, then I just start creating this. I can create this button, and I use this H for hyperlink, and this href equals to, and then we need later to specify a new PHP file, so I can just call it book underscore update.php like this. Then I need to, we can start with that. Also here we can specify the class, the Bootstrap class. So here I also remember this semicolon here, so I specify this class equals to, use this Bootstrap to create a proper button. So then button, I can use another color of the button, button info, because in Bootstrap you can specify buttons with different colors like green, blue, etc. And then we need to have a proper name for our button, so it could be update book or something, and then the end tag for the hyperlink like this. We have to fine tune here, so now here it should be a new column, so then you just need to copy this one. So here we need to have a new column like this, td, like this, and then this is the new column we are going to create with these different buttons for the update book like this. So let's hope this is correct, save it. I upload this new version of the books to the server. Let's refresh this page. And let's see. Yeah. So now we have 4 different books in the database, and we can click new book here and click save in order to create a new book. But now we can click here in order to update one of these 4 existing books. So far nothing will happen if I click here, and the requested URL was not found, meaning I haven't created this web page yet. So that's the next step, to create this new web PHP file called book_update.php. And that new PHP file is very similar to the previous one, which was creating book_new. So let's use that one as a starting point. So I go to my file explorer. Here we have this book_new. So then I just make a copy and then just rename it to book_update.php like this, and then just open it in my Visual Studio code editor. And then we just start by changing some details. So instead of new book, you can change it to update book, edit book or whatever. So update book. Here you can change information regarding the selected book or something. And then we have the same HTML form with these text boxes for title, author, and topic like this. So then just save it, go to FTP program, and just upload this new PHP file called book_update like this. You go back to our web browser, just click refresh, and now assuming we want to change this or update this book called web apps, and I can click on this one, and then you see I'll get to this new web page called book_update.php. and update book. Here you can change information regarding this a selected book or something. And also typically when we click on update book, this title, author, and topic should be filled out automatically here. So let's see how we can do that. So now in the or update PHP file, we need to include some PHP code for retrieving the selected book inside this web page. So then I just can copy some code from the books.php where we are actually retrieving a specific book. So I can copy that part like this. Go back to book update, and here in the beginning we should include some PHP code. So then PHP start and PHP end, and in between here we should create some PHP code. And the first thing we need to do is to connect to the database. So then we use these require ones, and this config.php file that we have created earlier, that connects to the database. And now we can enter this specific book that we select in the book table. So then select, we don't need to have the book ID, so then select title, author, and topic from book. And then we need to also include a where statement. So then where book ID equals to, and then here we need to create a local variable called book ID. And typically we need to get the book ID from the previous web page, this books.php. So then we have book ID equals to, and here we can, as mentioned earlier, we can use this get or post. So then here I choose to use post. So then I use $_ underscore. I use here I prefer to use get. So then I use $_ underscore get. And then we want to get the book ID from the previous web page. Then I just specify here book ID. like this, and then the value from this one will be put into this variable, which I'm using here in the query statement, like this, so where book ID equals to book ID. Sorry, not alpha, but $, like this. So now this page should be more or less finished, but now we need to go back to include the functionality to be able to retrieve the book ID from this previous books.php file. So as part of this update book button that we have created here, I want to include something. So here I need to specify question mark book ID. So that's the name that we should pick up here in the get method here, book ID, and put it into this book ID variable in this book underscore update PHP file here. So then we need to specify it here, question mark book ID equals to and then we need to get this book ID from the database, and then we just use this row, square brackets, and book ID like this. Then also, since this here is a mix of different quotes, here I use double quotes, single quotes, etc. Typically here also I use a variable, so then typically here's the start of the double quote, here's the end of the double quote, and then here I need to use this dot notation and the variable like this, and a dot notation once more, and then we start or continue on the text or the button like this. So let's see what's happening now when I save it. I go to the FTP program, just update these books and this book update. Go to the web page, and now refresh this one and click update here. And now you see, so far this has not been filled out, so that's the next thing we need to do. But if you see here in the URL on top of the web browser, we have the book underscore update.php and question mark book ID equals to 1. If we click on this book number 2, which has book ID number 2, then you see this is updated, question mark book ID equals to 2. If we click on book number 3, we get question mark book ID equals to 3. And finally, if we click on the last one, we have book ID equals to 4, like this. So the final part now is to be able to fill in the existing title, the existing author, and the existing topic here. And then the user can change it and click save in order to update that information to the database. So then we need to go to the book update, which you have here. So here we have specified the query. So we are going to select title, author, and topic from the book, where the book ID is retrieved from the query string or the URL, like this. And then we need to just be able to retrieve the data, so then we just use this row equals to, and this built-in function called MySQL underscore rows, like this. And the argument here should be this result that we retrieve here. And sorry, just so not here, we are not using this not rows here, because that we are already used there. So now we need to fetch the different rows by using this fetch method, like this. And here we need to put in this result, like this. And finally this semicolon. So now we are fetching the result from this query into this row variable, and now we need to be able to get the title, the author, and the topic. So then we just define a variable, title equals to row, square brackets, and the name of the database column, which is title in this case. And then we do the same for others. Title, author, and finally topic. Topic like this, and topic here. So now we are able to retrieve the title, the author, and topic from the specific book in the database with the specific book ID that we retrieve from the previous page when we click on this update book button. And now we are putting these into 3 variables. So now we just need to use those in these input text boxes that we have already created here. So then we just need to specify a value equals to, and then here the value should come from this variable that we have created here. So this $title variable, like this. And since this is PHP, so we need to use PHP start tag and the PHP end tag like this. And since we are going to display this variable to the screen, we need to use this echo like this. So that's for the title. Then I just copy that code and do the same for the author, and then just replace title with the author, and do the same for topic like this. Topic. So now save it, update the file to the web server, and let's see what's happening when we open this one in the web browser. So let's just refresh the books. So now we have 4 different books. We can click new book, but now we want to update one of these existing books. So click here, update book. Let's see, some problem here in line 4. Yeah, so it's a basic spelling mistake here. I have a semicolon, but of course it should be outside like this. Click save. Upload the latest version. Try once more, and then take it from scratch. Here is the main book page. I want to update that specific book. Click on update book. Now it's line 48. Yeah. So you see here in our if statement, I have this starting bracket. Of course, I also need to have this end bracket like this. So here in the if, start bracket and end bracket. So save, upload latest version, and let's take it from scratch. Refresh the book page, and now we want to update this one. Click update book. And now we see for book ID number 1, this title, web apps has been filled out, Elvis Presley has been filled out, and this programming has been filled out. So next now we can change the information. Let's say to web apps 2, Elvis Presley 2, programming whatever. And now we should be able to click save. But here we need to now create a new web page. So instead of book save, we need to create a new PHP file called book update save or something. So then let's create this new file. I just go to my file explorer, because that new file is very similar to this book save that we have already created, that are inserting a new book, but now instead of inserting we want to update an existing book. So then I just make a copy of that one. I can call it book update DB or something for database. So now we have the book underscore update. That's the HTML form that the user is using to update the information, and then when he here, so when he inside this so here in this book underscore update, where we have this form, so now when you click on this button for the save, it should not go to book underscore save, but this new file that we create now, book update underscore db, like this. And let's open that file as well, this one, so that's a new file. So now instead of insert here, we need to change this to an update statement. So then let's start by changing this query from insert to update. So then instead of insert, I need to use update, then update book, then I need to use this set command, set title equals to the new title that I'm retrieving here from these different $ underscore post from the previous page, this book underscore update.php. So then I just use this local variable. So then update book set title equals to this one, and typically this should be in single quotes like this, and then next author equals to, and not here title, but author, and comma topic should be equal to topic, like this. Now we get title from here, the author from here, and the topic from here. And then we need to also specify which book that we want to update. So update book, set these different title, author, and topic, and then we need to use a where statement, where book ID equals, and then we need to create a new local variable called book ID, like this. Sorry, a semicolon. So now our query should be finished, but this variable book ID hasn't been created yet, so that's something we need to create here. So then we just need to create book ID equals, and not here we are not going to use post, but here we are going to use get. So then $sign underscore get square brackets semicolon, and then book ID like this. So now we are retrieving this information from the HTML form by using post, and the book ID should be retrieved from the query string. So now, in order to be able to retrieve that book ID, we also need to update the book underscore update file. So then we go to book underscore update, and as you see here on top, we are already retrieving the book ID here. Now in the form action here, we go to this page, book underscore update.db.php, and here we need to add a question mark and type book ID like this, and this should be equal to the variable on top here, book ID. So then book underscore update underscore db.php question mark book ID equals to, and since this is HTML, we need to change to PHP by using this PHP start tag, and the PHP end tag like this, and then you can use echo and the name of this variable book ID like this. So now let's see what's happening when we run this new updated version of our book application. So let's go to the web page. I just refresh here. So now we have the main page here with the different books. And now I want to change this first book called Web Apps with author Elvis Presley and programming. So I click update and these are filled out. I want to change it to Web Apps 2. Click save like this. Yeah, so now I can click go back to books like this. Well, still some problems here because this one hasn't been updated. Instead, there's a new book that has been created. So let's dig into this file that we are actually updating the book itself. Yeah, so I guess this book underscore update underscore db.php needs some this one should of course has been removed, so that's the entire query. Update book, set title, etc. Where book ID is book ID that we retrieve from here. And also we can, instead of say book, you can have update book like this. Instead of new record created successfully, existing record updated successfully or something. So let's see if it's okay now. It seems okay, so let's just save it. I just update all the files like this. Go back to my web page, click refresh here. I can also delete those two books here in the bottom by go to my PHP MyAdmin. So just delete those. So now we have 4 different books in the database, and those are presented here on the web page. And now we want to update this one. So then click update web apps. I just want to change the name to web apps number 2. Click save, and existing record updated successfully. Update book, go back to book like this. And now you see this specific book has been updated. Let's see if we are able to update this book. Click update. Instead of IoT, it could be topic could be cloud or something. Click save, go back to books, and then you see this book has been updated with a new topic. Let's also see if we are able to update the author for this book. Update. This author is changed to John Wayne or something. We click save, and then you see the author has been updated for this book. So now we are getting there with our books CRUD application created with PHP, where we are first retrieving data from the database. We are able to click new book, and then we can create a new book, click save, and update or insert that book into the database. And finally, we could also update existing information into the database like this. Let's summarize this update part of the CRUD application. First, we needed to create a new column. I just call it action. Of course, you can call it whatever you like. And here I created a button for each of the rows. So when I click this button here, this specific book should be updated. When I click here, this specific book should be updated, etc. And then we click here. In order to create this new button, I just needed to enter this line of code. Here we create a button using this hyperlink tag in HTML, and then here's the name of the button, update book. And then we need, when we click on this button, we should go to a new web page or a new PHP web page. In this case, we should go to book_update.php and then question mark book ID equals to the specified book ID, like this. And then this web page should pop up, where the existing values should be shown in these text boxes, the title, author, and topic. And when we click on this Save button, we should go to a new web page, as specified here in the form and in action. So we should go to the new web page called book_update_database, and here we specify which book ID we should update, like this. And then finally we create this book_update_db.php file, where we create the query for updating the book. Update book set title equals to the title that we are receiving from the previous web page, and the same with the topic, and same with the author, like this. And then where book ID equals to the $book ID, because we retrieve the book ID in the query string. So here we need to use get, and these values are entered in an HTML form. So here we need to use post, like this. So now we are almost finished with the CRUD application. So far we have been creating, we have been able to create or insert data into the MySQL database. We have been able to retrieve data from the MySQL database, and we have been able to update data from the database. Finally, in the next part of this tutorial, we are going to delete data from the database.